Prime Minister will also have bilateral meetings with the Chinese leadership, including President Xi Jinping, Premier Li Qiang, and also Politburo's member of the Standing Committee, Mr. Li Shi, which is again a very, very important meeting. The Prime Minister will also have meetings with the participating global leaders who are coming to attend the third BRF forum. These meetings are being firmed up, and we will have an information sometime later in the evening. Prime Minister is also will be meeting with some top Chinese businessmen. These businessmen that Prime Minister will be meeting, they are kind of the giants in the Chinese system. They are very large business corporations. So they will be meeting with the Prime Minister in order to discuss the kind of cooperation that can be forged, including in joint ventures in Pakistan. A number of agreements, MOUs, will also be signed. They were in the works for quite some time, and the MOUs that are likely to be signed include agriculture cooperation, cooperation in the health sector, industrial cooperation, green energy cooperation, space technology cooperation. These are some of the agreements, MOUs, which are going to be signed between. From our point of view, this, as I mentioned earlier, this is a very important visit. इससे न सिर्फ ये bilateral cooperation जो पाकिस्तान और चाइना की है, which is a very strong cooperation. China, as you are all aware, is the iron brother of Pakistan. This is how the Chinese also describe their relationship with Pakistan. And this visit would help in strengthening this relationship between our two countries. And then it will also provide an opportunity to review the entire gamut of bilateral cooperation, and also including China-Pakistan economic cooperation, which is certainly an extremely important economic project that was launched about 10 years ago. Interestingly, this BRF forum also coincides with the 10 years of celebrations of not only China-Pakistan economic corridor, but also Belt and Road Initiative. And we will also explore the possibility of further cooperation in various areas. This is 2 days the Prime Minister will be in Beijing, and then Prime Minister will also undertake a visit to Xinjiang province. Xinjiang province, as you are aware, is the main artery of China-Pakistan economic corridor. Again, a very, very important region which borders Pakistan. It is certainly one of the most important regions of China, as it connects 8 other countries as well. So it is something which is extremely important. Prime Minister in Xinjiang will address the Xinjiang University. That his program includes an address, as well as meetings with the business community. It's a day-long visit, and then following this Xinjiang visit, he will return to Pakistan. The Prime Minister will also say his Jummah prayer in the Grand Mosque of Xinjiang. So that's something which is again part of his program. So this is something that I thought that I will brief you. The second important development that I thought that I'll share it with you is the decision by the OIC to convene an extraordinary emergency meeting of the Executive Committee of the OIC in Jeddah on the 18th. I will be, since Pakistan is part of the Executive Committee of the OIC, as part of the previous chair of the Council of Foreign Ministers. So we will also be attending this. I will be attending this OIC meeting on the 18th. Certainly, Palestine is a very, very important issue for us. So we will certainly discuss the ongoing situation. There is absolutely no doubt that Israel has committed aggression. They have conducted airstrikes on the civilian population, which has resulted in the death of several innocent men, women, and children. We also condemn the siege of Gaza, and this is a very unfortunate situation in the sense that in Gaza, people have no water, they have no health facilities, they have no food, which is again something which creates one of the major humanitarian crises. And this is a situation that can be equated with genocide. As a matter of fact, it is a genocide being conducted by Israel against the people of poor people of Palestine. Our position is that Israel must respect the international law, the UN resolutions on Palestine, which recognizes the right of self-determination of the Palestinian people. And then we also feel that this is also the result of 7 decades of illegal occupation of Israel of the Palestinian territories, which from Pakistan has always believed that this must be vacated and the UN Security Council resolutions must be respected. And lastly, I would say that on the Palestinian issue, that our position is that any attempt to equate Israel, which is an aggressor, with that of the Palestinian struggle, that is unacceptable for Pakistan. Pakistan would demand that Palestinian right to self-determination must be respected, and then Israel must be given, a separate independent status should be accepted by not only Israel but also by the international community, with the pre-1967 borders and Al-Quds al-Sharif as its capital. So that certainly remains Pakistan's consistent position with regard to this particular issue. So I think we can certainly now, if there are any questions, I'll be very happy to respond to them.
Thank you, sir. We start with Sumaira Khan.
Thank you, Foreign Minister. This is Sumaira Khan from Sama Television. Foreign Minister, अभी सऊदी अरब के हवाले से अगर आप बताइए, सऊदी अरब पाकिस्तान इस मामले में फ़लस्तीन के हवाले से गज़ा की सूरत हाल पर कितने एक राब्ते में हैं, और आपको क्या लगता है OIC कितने इफेक्टिवली पाकिस्तान ड्राइव कर सकता है इस सारी सूरत हाल में, क्योंकि पूरी दुनिया में पाकिस्तान सिर्फ एक ऐसा मुल्क है जिसने बाकायदा अपने पासपोर्ट पर लिखा है कि इसके शहरी इसराइल का सफ़र नहीं कर सकते, एंड दिस शोज़ पाकिस्तान कमिटमेंट एज वेल. इसके अलावा आप क्या समझते हैं कि इतनी शदीद जो बमबारी हो रही है वहाँ पर एक ह्यूमैनिटेरियन क्राइसिस जन्म ले रहा है, अगर हम कोई मदद करना चाहें भी तो वो हम किस तरीके से करेंगे? डू वी हैव एनी वे आउट फॉर दैट?
जहाँ तक तो इसके प्रोविजन ऑफ ह्यूमैनिटेरियन असिस्टेंस इज कंसर्न, तो उसके ऊपर वी आर ऑलरेडी इन टच विद द यूनाइटेड नेशंस एजेंसीज, विद द इंटरनेशनल humanitarian organizations. We are also, our missions in Geneva and New York, who are dealing with the UN matters, they are also in touch with the with the concerned UN agencies. But unfortunately, so far, there is a complete siege as far as Gaza is concerned. We would provide immediate humanitarian assistance, and that's something for which we are already in touch with the relevant agencies. And in this forum, this is a very important forum, the OIC Foreign Ministers meeting that is taking place in Jeddah. This particular aspect is going to be highlighted. Certainly, this meeting is meant to have the following objectives. Number one, to develop a coordinated response of the OIC member countries in respect of the current situation in Palestine. Secondly, how do we bring an end to this violence that has been perpetuated by Israel against the innocent Palestinian people. And thirdly, how do we provide immediate humanitarian assistance to the Palestinian people who have been besieged by the Israeli action. We are ready. We are, as I said, that we are ready to provide immediate humanitarian assistance. We are also in touch with the Egyptian authorities, who are the neighbors, and in fact, we have been told only this morning that they are not allowing any, Israel is not allowing any assistance as of now, but this is something that we, along with the OIC member countries and the international community, we would make a very forceful case for the early provision of humanitarian assistance to the people of Palestine. Sorry, yes, we coordinate our position on this particular issues as well as many other international issues of concern very, very closely with the Saudi government. I had a very good meeting with the Saudi foreign minister in New York, and then I'm also looking forward to my meeting with the Saudi foreign minister during my visit to Saudi Arabia day after tomorrow.
China-related questions first. जी.
थैंक यू मैम. सर ये बताइए कि अभी जो चाइना विजिट करने जा रहे हैं हमारे प्राइम मिनिस्टर, और आपने कुछ जो नए एमओयू साइन होने के हवाले से बात की, तो सी पैक के हवाले से जो कंसर्न था यहाँ पे सिक्योरिटी के हवाले से, क्या उसके ऊपर भी कोई बात या कोई उसके लिए कोई नया डायलॉग या कोई नया एमओयू साइन होने जा रहा है?
हमारी चाइना के साथ एक ऑनगोइंग डायलॉग उनके साथ है ऑन चाइना पाकिस्तान इकोनॉमिक कॉरिडोर. चाइना पाकिस्तान इकोनॉमिक कॉरिडोर हमारे ख्याल के मुताबिक इट्स ए सक्सेस स्टोरी. It's a success story from our point of view, economic success story, and also from the Chinese point of view, it's certainly a great success story. It is presented as a model of good cooperation and economic cooperation between China and Pakistan. Obviously, there are security-related concerns, but then there is an external dimension to this security problem that we face. Certainly, China and Pakistan are cooperating and coordinating very, very closely in order to blunt the activities of the externally driven terrorist forces who are trying to create hurdles in the successful implementation of China-Pakistan economic corridor. I think I recently, when I was in Tibet, I had a very good meeting with the Chinese foreign minister, and I think both sides can draw satisfaction from the kind of good cooperation that has been forged, even to take this China-Pakistan economic corridor process forward. As you are aware that we have already completed the first phase, we are going to enter into the second phase, and the second phase also includes not only the upgradation of railways, but also in many other areas which include science and technology, development of industrial zones, and also agriculture cooperation. So these are, and then cooperation in technological areas. So that's something that we are going to discuss, Prime Minister is going to discuss during this visit.
Piracha Saab.
When in China, the Chinese Foreign Minister has already been contacted by Secretary Blinken for a role in the Middle Eastern crisis. We also want extension of CPAC to Afghanistan, and Afghanistan is estranged with Pakistan because of the recent administrative measures against the illegal immigrants inside Pakistan. So how Prime Minister will coordinate on all these aspects? If United States is asking Chinese cooperation for Middle East, are we having some proactive policy during our meetings with the Chinese leadership? And President Putin, I believe, is also traveling to Beijing. Is there any chance of a meeting, bilateral meeting or interaction over there with President Putin to discuss these issues like Palestine and mutual cooperation? Thank you.
I would first come to the last part of your question, which is a meeting with the world global leaders. You are absolutely right that President Putin will also be visiting Beijing to attend the BRF forum. As I mentioned earlier, that Prime Ministers meeting with the world leaders who are participating in this forum, and there is a likelihood of meeting most of the leaders during the visit. These meetings are currently being firmed up, and I think we will have a clearer picture emerging very, very soon. With regard to your question, whether we will coordinate our position with the Chinese on Middle Eastern affairs or other global affairs, I would say that we have a very close cooperation and coordination with China on regional and global issues, including issues related to the Middle East. These will certainly be discussed during the interaction that we have with the Chinese leadership. You mentioned about the refugees. Again, I would like to reiterate that this is certainly not Afghanistan-specific decision that government has taken. This decision applies on all illegal people residing in Pakistan. And I think this is a firm decision that has been made by Pakistan. All those people who are legally residing in Pakistan, they will not be disturbed. All those people who are holding the registration cards, they can continue to live in Pakistan, whether they belong to Afghanistan or other countries.
जी आप कॉर्नर पे.
अस्सलाम वालेकुम सर, बहुत शुक्रिया. जावेद हुसैन, दुनिया टीवी से. सर, ये पूछना चाहूँगा कि जो एग्रीमेंट्स आपने जिनकी बात की, MOUs की, इसमें रेलवे का एग्रीमेंट भी शामिल है, क्योंकि रेलवे का जो CPAC का मंसूबा है उसे रिवाइज किया गया, और उस रिवाइज जो मुआहदा है उस पर क्या चीन ने इशारे मतलब उसको एग्री किया है, उसके ऊपर इस हवाले से कुछ बता दीजिए. और ये खबरें भी चल रही थी कि स्लो डाउन कर रहे हैं, पेस स्लो कर रहे हैं CPAC का, इस हवाले से जो खबरें हैं उसकी
नहीं जी नहीं, ये बिल्कुल अपना फेक खबरों के ऊपर बिल्कुल ही जो सी ध्यान रखने की जरूरत नहीं है. CPAC इज नॉट गोइंग टू बी स्लोड डाउन. इट इज एज अ मैटर ऑफ फैक्ट गोइंग टू बी पुट ऑन द फास्ट ट्रैक, आई कैन अश्योर यू. And this is the desire of not only Pakistan but also China as well. This is a very, very important thing. The MOUs that I just mentioned are the ones which have already been concluded. You mentioned about the railway project. Railway project is something which is given a lot of importance not only by Pakistan but also by the Chinese side. Prime Minister during his visit will also meet with the, as I mentioned, the Chinese corporations and companies, which also include those who are dealing with this particular issue. This railway project is part of our ongoing discussions which are taking place. The discussions are certainly, I can confirm that they are at an advanced stage, And if not during this visit, an agreement will be concluded fairly soon. This is something that I would like to mention on this.
Syar sir.
थैंक यू सर। सीआर इलिशा खैबर टीवी से। सर आपने बताया कि जो रेफ्यूजीज का मामला है यहाँ पे सर,
सॉरी,
जो रेफ्यूजीज रिपाट्रिएशन का मसला है ये अफगान स्पेसिफिक नहीं है, मगर इससे दोनों ममालिक के दरमियान ताल्लुकात इतने ख़राब हो गए हैं कि अभी उन्होंने अफगानिस्तान ने जो ज़लज़ला मुतासरीन के लिए इमदाद पाकिस्तान ने देनी थी वो भी लेने से इनकार कर दिया या वो नहीं ले रहे। तो दोनों मुल्कों के दरमियान जो हालात इस वक्त इतने ख़राब है ताल्लुकात, तो क्या उसको बेहतर करने के लिए या कोई आप हाई लेवल पे कोई इंगेजमेंट मुतवक्के है दोनों मुल्कों के दरमियान? शुक्रिया।
एक तो नंबर वन, मैं इस जो इम्प्रेशन है कि कोई हमारी कोई मिसअंडरस्टैंडिंग है विद अफगानिस्तान या कोई हालात ताल्लुकात ख़राब हैं, उसको मैं बिल्कुल ही रिजेक्ट करता हूँ। हमारे अफगानिस्तान के साथ बहुत ही अच्छे ताल्लुकात हैं with regard to this particular assistance that Pakistan had offered following the earthquake. हमें पहले अफगान साइड ने कहा कि उन्हें इन चीज़ों की ज़रूरत है, हम लोग तैयार थे इन चीज़ों को भेजने के लिए। बाद में उन्होंने कहा कि अब वो हमारी इंटरनली वो ज़रूरत पूरी हो गई है और इस वजह से इसको कोई और रंग देना मेरे ख्याल में वो मुनासिब नहीं होगा। दूसरी चीज़ ये है कि मैं हमेशा ये बिलीव करता हूँ कि अफ़गानिस्तान और पाकिस्तान के जो ताल्लुकात की जो नौइयत है वो इतनी स्ट्रॉन्ग है कि जिसकी इंतहा नहीं, और ये वो आजकल के ज़माने की बात नहीं है, ये सेंचुरीज ओल्ड रिलेशनशिप है। और जब भी अफ़गानिस्तान के लोगों के ऊपर कोई उफ्ताद पड़ी तो अगर एक मुल्क था जिसकी तरफ देखा तो वो पाकिस्तान वो रहा है, और ये एक कंटिन्यूइंग प्रोसेस है। और वहाँ पे जो सी हमारी एक बहुत ही ज़्यादा उनके साथ कोऑपरेशन है, ट्रेड कोऑपरेशन है अफ़गानिस्तान के साथ, हमारी इकोनॉमिक कोऑपरेशन है, और बाकी एरियाज़ के अंदर भी जो काफ़ी कोऑपरेशन जो सी है वो चल रही है। मेरी अभी तिब्बत के अंदर मुत्तकी साहब के साथ मीटिंग हुई थी और वो हमारी जो बड़ी अच्छी मुलाकात रही, और उस मुत्तकी साहब के साथ जो उनके इंटरिम जो उनके अफ़गान फॉरेन मिनिस्टर हैं, और मुझे इस किस्म का कोई इम्प्रेशन नहीं मिला कि जिससे कि ये तासुर मिले जिसका आप जिक्र कर रहे हैं। थैंक यू।
Thank you, ma'am. Sir, this is Muhammed Nazım from Anadolu Agency, Turkey. When the clashes between Israel and Hamas started, we saw that Islamabad used a very careful language in its statements without positioning itself on any side. This led to comments some media outlets that there is a change in Pakistan's policy towards Israel. So what would you say about it?
No, I would say that there is absolutely no change in Pakistan's position with regard to Israel.
Azad Sayyid.
The position that I mentioned earlier, a short while ago, that remains Pakistan's position, consistent position. In the past, it will currently and also in the future. And this position will remain till such time the people of Palestine, they get their right to self-determination in accordance with the UN resolutions, as well as the demand that has been made by the OIC resolutions.
सर 7 अक्टूबर को जो वाक़या हुआ फ़लस्तीन में और इज़राइल में, उसमें इज़राइल के भी तकरीबन 900 जो शहरी हैं वो निहत्ते शहरी वो भी मरे हैं, फ़लस्तीनी निहत्ते वो भी मरे हैं। तो पाकिस्तान सिर्फ फ़लस्तीनी निहत्ते शहरियों की हलाकत की मज़म्मत करता है या जो इज़राइल के निहत्ते शहरी हैं उनकी हलाकत पर भी मज़म्मत करता है? दूसरा सर ये भी बता दीजिए कि पाकिस्तान के हवाले से आपने थोड़ा सा सऊदी अरेबिया का भी जिक्र किया एक सवाल के जवाब में कि हम इस सारे मामले पर सऊदी अरेबिया से राब्ते में हैं। सऊदी अरेबिया का इस सारे मामले में बड़ा दिलचस्प अंदाज है कि वो बाकी फ्री कैन से भी राब्ते में है। तो हम जो भी पॉलिसी इख्तियार करेंगे उसमें हम सऊदी मुशावरत लेंगे या हम अपनी इंडिपेंडेंट पॉलिसी ही रखेंगे?
देखिए जी, बात यह है कि पाकिस्तान इज ए सॉवरेन कंट्री. पाकिस्तान जो भी पॉलिसी बनाता है वो बेसिकली वो दैट इज डिटरमिन्ड बाय आवर ओन नेशनल इंटरेस्ट. ये तो सारी बात पहले जो सी. दूसरी चीज ये है कि सऊदी अरेबिया इज ए वेरी इंपॉर्टेंट कंट्री. It is a very, very important country. It plays a very important role in the OIC context, in the Middle East politics also. So given the very close relationship that Pakistan has with Saudi Arabia, we coordinate our position very, very closely with Saudi Arabia on most issues. There is absolutely no doubt about it. They consult us on important issues, we consult with them on important issues, and which is it's a normal practice between two sovereign states who have very, very close brotherly relations between each other. We have very close political relationship. Political relationship means that all these aspects that you have referred to, they are discussed very, very closely with them. We have a very close economic cooperation with them. We have a very close defense cooperation with Saudi Arabia. और on strategic issues भी हमारी जो सी है convergences हैं on all the issues. So accordingly we जो से है we good. जहाँ तक वो है आपका पहले सवाल का, तो मैंने आपको पहले कहा कि we need to look at the root cause of this problem. We should not really उसको anchor करने की जरूरत नहीं है 7th of October के वाक़या से. फैक्ट रिमेन्स कि ये एक सिचुएशन डेवलप हो रही है पिछले काफ़ी अरसे से, सेवरल डेकेड्स से. ऑक्यूपेशन है, उनकी सेटलमेंट्स जो सी हैं बढ़ रही हैं, उनके जो सी है राइट्स आर बीइंग डिनाइड. तो ये जो कुछ भी हो रहा है उस सर्कमस्टांसेस का एक नतीजा है जिसको क्रिएट किया जा रहा था फॉर सेवरल ईयर्स.